How Pastor Sean Echols went from 17 people to 350 members and baptized 100 of them in less than a year. No gimmicks, no viral moment, no special guest preacher. Just 3 systems we built together and the willingness to actually run them. I'm going to break down exactly how we did it. When Pastor Sean first came to me, he had 17 people. Now let me tell you what 17 people looks like on a Sunday morning. You know every face in the room. You know every name. You know who called in sick. You know who had a fight on their way to church because you could feel it when they walked through the door. You preach your heart out, full sermon, full anointing for 17 people. And when it's over, you drive home. You sit in the quiet and you begin to wonder, did I miss God? Am I really called to this? Why is nothing working? Sean was there every Sunday, faithful, gifted, called, and stuck. He'd been doing everything right by traditional standards. He was in the community. He was praying. He was preaching sound doctrine. He was serving his people. But the church just wasn't growing. And slowly, subtly, discouragement was doing what it always does. It was making him question everything. Does that sound familiar? Here's what we changed. The first thing we did was not run ads. The first thing we did was audit. I asked Sean 4 questions. What happens when a guest walks through your door for the first time? Walk me through exactly what they experience from the parking lot all the way to the pew. Now, what happens after they leave? Do they get a text? Do they get a call, a card, or do they just disappear? What is your pathway for getting somebody from guest to member? Is it mapped out? Does your team know the steps? And finally, what are you spending on outreach right now? And where is that budget going? The answers told us everything we needed to know. Front door was fine. Sean was warm and welcoming. Preaching was strong, but the back door was wide open. There was no formal follow-up process. There was no guest pathway. There's no consistent outreach strategy. People were showing up occasionally and then disappearing. Not because the church was bad, because there was no system to catch them. And once we identified the real problem, we could build the real solution. Before we spent $1 on advertising, we built the foundation. We built his first impression system, parking team, welcome team, connection card process, the guest table, the first-time visitor gift. We built his follow-up sequence, the same-day text from the pastor, 48-hour handwritten card, personal phone call from a team member within the week. We built a simple guest pathway, a clear, visible, communicated track that told new people, here's your next step. This took about 3 weeks to put in place, and during those 3 weeks before we ran a single ad, Sean said something began to shift. People who had visited once, who hadn't come back, had started coming back. Because now the church felt like it was expecting them. A church that looks like it's expecting guests, attracts guests. Now, once the foundation was solid, we turned on the fuel. We launched Facebook and Instagram ads targeting his zip code. We started at $300 a month, $10 a day. We ran 2 types of ads, brand awareness ads, a short video of Sean speaking directly to his community, introducing himself, talking about what makes his church different, and direct response ads, driving traffic to the Plan Your Visit landing page. We wrote ad copy that spoke directly to the person who'd given up on church, the one who'd been hurt, the one who felt like church wasn't for people like them. And within the first 30 days, guests started showing up. And this time, because the foundation was built, they stayed. As the church grew, we scaled. We increased the ad budget gradually as the return justified it. We expanded the Connect team as the volunteer base grew. We launched Growth Track discipleship pathways so new members had a clear place to go. And we added midweek communication, short email or text to keep the congregation engaged between Sundays. And we built a data habit. Every Monday morning, Sean was reviewing 3 numbers. How many first-time guests came, how many were contacted, how many came back. And that data drove every decision. If the follow-up rate dropped, we found out why. If ad cost per visit went up, we adjusted the creative. The system got better every week because we were measuring it. By month 9, Sean had 350 members and had baptized 100 people. But here's what the numbers don't really capture. The culture of that church had completely transformed. Members were inviting people. Members were serving. Members were giving. The church had become a movement, not just a service. Sean wasn't just running a church anymore. He was leading a community that was changing lives in his city. And it all started with 3 systems and the courage to build them. Let me give you the numbers. 17 members at the start, 350 members by month 9. That's a 20 times increase in less than a year. 100 baptisms in the same period. Average Sunday attendance went from scattered and inconsistent to a packed house with an overflow strategy being built. Giving increased proportionally as membership grew and as members moved through the discipleship pathway. But honestly, and Sean will tell you this himself, the most significant result wasn't a number. It was the Sunday he looked out at the congregation and didn't realize or didn't recognize half the faces. Not because strangers had wandered in, because the people he had prayed and believed for had finally arrived. And that Sunday he called me and he said, "Bishop, it's working." And that's the results that matter. Now, I want to be clear about something. I gave Pastor Sean a system, but he did the work. He showed up for every coaching call. He implemented every step, even when it was uncomfortable. He trained his team. He stayed consistent when results weren't immediate. I've worked with pastors who had the same system and didn't see the same results. And every time I trace it back, the difference was execution. Sean executed at the highest level. And that's why his results were at the highest level. So what I learned from watching him is this. Pastors don't fail because they lack calling. They fail because they lack a transferable system that they can actually run. And when the system is clear, the pastor's committed, the results just follow. So if you want to see the same kind of transformation at your church, the link below this video is your next step. Book a call. Let's talk about your church. Let's figure out what's standing between where you are and where God is calling you to be. You weren't called to be a plateaued church. You're called to be a movement. Let's build it.